My name is Anne Marie Henton. I grew up right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I currently work as Director of State and Local Services, which is essentially a business development role for RS21, which is a technology company based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but that does work across the country and internationally as well. So, really, being in business development is all about human connection. So, it's about building relationships. And I do that in a variety of ways. Today, I went to lunch with somebody that I worked with years ago in a previous role, who we now are in a setting where we can work together in our current roles. And so, we went to lunch together and talked about what that looks like and what those problems and solutions might be. I also spent some time today on social media with LinkedIn and Twitter, connecting with people who have job roles that make decisions for companies that we want to work with. So I spend a lot of time congratulating people, talking about people's work, connecting with them. I love doing that in person the most, when I can get somebody who can spend a little bit of time with me, whether that's going to a coffee shop or grabbing lunch together, but really understanding who they are as a person, what motivates them, what their challenges might be, and how me personally and also the company might be able to help them with those challenges. When I graduated from high school here in Albuquerque, I wanted to see the world. I knew that I wanted to live in other places and really experience what other cities and maybe even other countries might have to offer. And my very first role from a PR and marketing perspective was I got an internship with a public relations company in Southern California called Rogers and Cowan. And so I moved to Los Angeles and I worked there for about 5 months and was able to do some really interesting things in the music and movies industry that really when you're in a place like Los Angeles, there is a lot happening in marketing. There are big budgets, there are a lot of people, there's a lot of celebrities, there's a lot of music, noise, you name it. And so it's kind of the epicenter of creation, creativity, and design. So that was a really great experience for me. It taught me how much I really appreciate and love the place that I come from. I realized how I want to be close to my family. I want to be close to the outdoors and things that make me happy in life, outside of business. And so I decided to move back to Albuquerque. And when I did that, I took a national media role. And so when I say media, in public relations, PR is the kind of job where you're the person who's a spokesperson for a company. And then from there, I went to work as director of marketing for Albuquerque Economic Development. And Albuquerque Economic Development is a local organization. Most cities have an organization like this. And the mission of the organization is to recruit new businesses, new employers to the city to create jobs for people. And so, what an important role to play for your community. What I loved about it, it was a lot like the ad agency where you got access and introduction to a lot of different industries, different companies. I got a front row seat to see different strategy in business, how different CEOs run things, and how different companies decide what's most valuable to them about the locations that they choose. And it also gave me the opportunity to really get to know Albuquerque in a way that I didn't before. Now I currently am working for an incredible company that I first met here in Albuquerque a few years ago when it was a startup. It's a little more of a maturing company now called RS21. And I love the mission of this company. It's a technology company. I am part of their leadership team. I am thrilled to be working with them and to be once again working in a space where we get to create solutions for big community problems. High school specifically, I would say the three most valuable things that happened that kind of shaped where I went with my career and who I am as a person and as a teammate are first and foremost athletics, being an athlete and having to learn to be coachable, having to learn to follow a strategy or a path that might be bigger than me that I might not always agree with, but it's the way that or the direction that something might need to move. Learning to work with other people who come from different backgrounds who might not have the same views about things like work ethic or communication, that kind of thing, really learning to work together and work through conflict. If you have an issue with somebody else, which you will over the course of every single job that you have, whether it's trying to help or solve an issue with a client, or maybe it's a clash with a coworker because you're not understanding each other correctly, whatever it might be, conflict management and resolution is one of the most valuable skills you'll ever learn. And learning to do it in a way where you don't have to take it personally, that we wake up to be problem solvers together and to win as a team. And so sometimes that's a little bit of a journey to get to that solution. But if you can take it seriously and not personally, that's a really valuable skill set to have. So between being a great teammate and being coachable and open to different ways of getting to the same outcome, that's really valuable, I think, in business and in life in general and relationships. And then when it comes to, college and actual career, I had a teacher my senior year of high school push me into doing DECA, which is essentially a marketing club. And he said, I think you would be great at this. You have natural skill set for it. Why don't you give it a try? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try it. I loved it. I loved it. I love the coursework. I immediately felt success in it. It came very naturally to me. In state competitions, I won right off the bat. So I had a lot of confidence building happen in that too, because I kept getting all of this, um, reinforcement that I was doing a good job and that I really got it. And so that's what really got me interested in majoring in marketing. And that's exactly what I did. So I still see that teacher to this day. I see him randomly around town, and it's proof that one teacher can really kind of change the course of your life as well if they get you interested in something. I would say that mentorship is the single most valuable thing that has happened to me and that I have experienced throughout the course of my career. So, I've been working for about 17 years now, and I can trace almost every job I've ever gotten back to a relationship with a mentor.